3-minute talk 1. Overview of the CTF challenge. Introduction. In this Capture the Flag CTF challenge, we were tasked with exploiting a vulnerable binary named vuln to gain access to a hidden flag. The challenge was part of a broader category focusing on binary exploitation, specifically buffer overflows. Our goal was to carefully craft an input that would overflow a buffer, redirect program execution to a special function called win, and pass the necessary arguments to reveal the flag. Understanding the vulnerability, the binary was a 32-bit executable with several security features either disabled or partially enabled. Most notably, it lacked a stack canary, which made it susceptible to buffer overflow attacks. We disassembled the binary and found that the vuln function used the dangerous gets function, which does not perform bounds checking. This allowed us to overflow the buffer and overwrite the return address on the stack. Exploitation strategy. The core idea behind the exploit was to overwrite the return address with the address of the win function, which prints the flag if two specific arguments are passed to it. 0xCAFEF00D and 0xF00DF00D. We calculated the exact number of bytes required to reach the return address, 112 bytes, and then built our payload to include the address of win followed by the required arguments. Executing the exploit. After crafting the payload, we tested it locally to ensure it worked correctly before deploying it against the remote server. We used a Python script, remote py, that utilized the puntools library to send the payload over the network. The payload successfully redirected execution to the win function and passed the correct arguments, leading to the flag being printed. Conclusion. This CTF challenge was a great exercise in understanding buffer overflows and how to exploit them. It required careful analysis of the binary, precise control over the stack, and strategic use of debugging tools to craft a working exploit. The successful capture of the flag, picoCTF, argum3NT5_4_D4YZ_59CD5643, was a satisfying conclusion to the challenge, demonstrating both technical skill and a methodical approach to binary exploitation.
So, jumping right in, it looks like we used the string, we used tree command, Python 3, and to launch. Oh, and if you saw, I didn't have the port in there, so we're just going to put the port in there. We're reading the Python script and launched it with the correct port and got the flag.